Alright, welcome back. We're gonna head to Cecile, who is over here, I think. Let me see, who am I talking to? Yeah. So let's go to Burden.
You say she's dead?
You're stupid. She just fell unconscious. What an awful setting.
Bieber! Eh? That's a witcher, not a human.
So, no schnapps?
Nope.
Oh, he's right down here. Right. Oh, I've been here. Oh yeah, I have been here. I've already taken everything.
They lie in wait for their lord and prince. Humans are an odd lot. I certainly hope Scalen can clean up this mess. What can I do for you, Witcher?
Alright, so...
I need to get inside the Harpy lair.
No chance.
I know all about the Harpies. They steal dreams, collect them. I found one, but it proved too weak for our purposes. I need a stronger one. So I'm asking you nicely, open the damn gate.
Listen, Witcher. I want Saskia to recover, I do. But don't ask me to turn this town into a circus just before we battle Henselt. My grandfather locked that gate for a good reason. Imagine if we could all go in there to look at those dreams. Dwarves, peasants, their scoia'tael, Aedirnian nobles even. All seeing the desires of others. Terrifying. It would be the end of Vergen. What's more, legend has it the oldest stolen dreams can become reality. And I don't want nightmares stalking Vergen's back alleyways come nightfall.
Open it. I'll make it quick.
Stop pissing me off. You're acting like a drunk suitor. No means no.
You know, don't know if I should mention this, but the dream I found belongs to you.
What are you talking about?
It's an embarrassing affliction, I imagine. Hell, even something of a political liability in your case. Some might even call you a freak. You're the alderman. An ages-old tradition is vested in you. On top of that, you now lead the preparations for Vergen's defense.
You wouldn't dare.
Imagine your ancestors carved in stone. Condemnation, not pride on their bearded faces. Who knows? Maybe you'd keep your office, but you'd be the talk of the town for ages. And your nephew? Poor kid.
I'll open the gate. I promised Scalen's mother I'd be sober as a judge to the end of my days, and I aim to keep my word. I don't give a damn about ages-old traditions and piss on loose talk. But you're right. I cannot compromise Vergen's morale. You must bury this thing. The secret dies with you, never to be spoken aloud. Understand?
I do. Thanks, Cecil, and good luck staying sober. Cecil, do you know anyone who fought in the war 3 years ago?
I did.
Did you fight here at Vergen?
Course.
Philippa claims you know a bit about the battle.
That old cook Henselt, called king by some, thought that Aedirnians were bumpkins who'd shit bricks as soon as his troops crossed the river.
Why did he attack Edirn?
According to Henselt, Upper Edirn is the ancient legacy of the Kedweni crown and must be returned to the mother country. Brazen farter.
That brazen farter had a point. If you read some history, you'll know that 300 years ago this land belonged to Kedwen.
Load of crab. 700 years ago, the elves reigned here. And 1,000,000 years ago, these lands were the domain of the worms. If things worked that way, every king could invade a neighboring land and claim his right to do so because an ancestor took a dump there.
All right. Hensel wanted to conquer Upper Edirn. What then?
He rolled in, got hammered, and rolled out.
Cecil, that doesn't help me much.
It wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. If I try speaking of it, I'll see it all again. I don't want.
The ghosts of the fallen fight in the mist. They turn into horrible creatures called Draugrs. Aedirnians, Kedweni, men, elves, and dwarves too.
Bloody hell. No peace even after death.
I want to help them, but I need to know more about the battle.
Very well. Listen, a beautiful day that grew hot later, very hot. When Van de Grift attacked in the afternoon, he sent a Dun banner at the fore. Many of our lads shit themselves at the mere sight of their standard, but we had a surprise of our own. Under the cover of night, we prepared fire pits. Our archers lit them up at the right moment. I still can't believe we managed to fool their scouts. If it wasn't for that ambush, we wouldn't be speaking today. They likely wouldn't be in Upper Eddern at all. We decimated the Dun banner, but that was only the beginning. Seltkirk was our commander. Everywhere he appeared, the Kidwennies gave ground. He wreaked havoc among them. Hearts rose at the mere sight of his armour. Then Van de Grift himself entered the fray. Seltkirk met him in the middle of the field. In the end, Van de Grift killed Seltkirk. A terrible death that sent the Edirnian ranks into disarray. I thought it was the end of us. Then the sky fell, as if the stars themselves had decided to avenge the death of a great knight. Fire covered the battlefield. Nobody sought the enemy. They were all looking for somewhere to flee. Yes, there were no more friends and enemies, only the living and the dead. They say it was the doing of a Kidwenny sorceress who wanted revenge on Van de Grift. Could be true, as Henselt had her executed right after the battle.
Remember anything from before the battle?
As if it was yesterday. Henselt's troops crossed the Pontard the third day after the autumn equinox. Edirn had good spies, so we were ready for them, and Seltkirk lined up our troops along the hills. Our hearts rose at the sight of the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersberg and Gullet fluttering in the wind. Knights and armoured infantry side by side in our ranks. Even the peasants had their regiments. The dwarves were on the left flank. Over 5,000 strong we were. Nobody caring about race or background, like never before. Only King Demavend was missing, but he must have had more important business than defending his country.
You saw the Kidwennies cross the river?
From afar, I saw Van de Grift leading 4,000 heavily armed men. Many a heart sank when we saw the elite bearheads or the armoured banners from Ardcarrig. The Dun banner was in the middle, veterans of Brenna. As soon as he set foot on Edirnian land, Van de Grift climbed a hill and surveyed the area, as if it was his fief. Son of a bitch was as sure of himself as ever. Upon spying him, I remember the dwarves all dropped their trousers and showed him their asses. Then Seltkirk stepped out in front of us. His white armour shone in the sun. We were afraid a Kidwenny arbalist would shoot him, but they too stood as if frozen, and Seltkirk just looked at them and bowed ever so slightly.
You captured the Dun banner standard?
Henselt's choice troops, and not a one survived. The visitors sent them to their deaths, refused to give them reinforcements. He was a monster in human form. The men of the Dun were real swaggerers. Killed a lot of our lads, but for every Dunner, there were 7 Edirnians. They had no chance. Aye, we captured their standard. We buried what was left of them in the crypts beyond Vergen. Their standard lies with them. Worthy foes are to be respected, even in death.
I'm going to need that standard. Did you see the duel between Seltkirk and Van de Grift?
I stood half a furlong from them. Never seen a fight like it. Probably never will again. They'd already met once, at a jousting tournament in Ardcarrig. Seltkirk won there. He beat on the visitor so hard he broke his sword. Seltkirk was a true knight, the last of his breed. Van de Grift was so pissed off after that tournament he hanged the smith who made his sword and ordered a special one from a sorcerer. I bet he cut down Seltkirk with that new sword.
Van de Grift is dead. What happened to his sword?
Saskia's got it. Good thing too. Only her hand can tame the hatred enchanted in that sword. After the battle, when the flames abated, the scavengers came. They stole everything. Imagine, not a single keepsake of Seltkirk in the whole of Edirn. His brother babbled something about a gauntlet, but he's a lying dog.
Thanks, Cecil, that was helpful. I think I know what I need to lift the curse now.
Madame Eilhard claims you need 4 symbols. The standard symbolizes death. Vandegrift's sword stands for hatred. What about the other two?
I have a feeling Philippa has a handle on the rest.
Here's hoping you're right.
Alright. That took care of all that. I'll wait for events to unfold. Okay. Alright, so let's go see. I'm gonna go over to... Let's go to the castle. See what all the people are doing over there.
So, you thought it over? I'm on my way to the recruiting station.
I don't know.
Consider. Yorvith's not just any troublemaker.
Elves, they talk a lot, think very little. In the end, they end up...
Holy League version. Go see if I can get the blood from the king. And then we'll go over
They say someone cast a spell.
to the
There goes the piece, eh?
The commoners claim it's our prince's doing.
Such judgment is above their station. I believe it's Henselt's provocation.
How?
He wants to drive a wedge between us.
Serfs and lords will never be on the same side.
Humans only care how their asses rise as their stations do.
They're playing into Henselt's hands. If they start at each other's throats, we'll have to face the entire amount of Kedwin alone.
You can't...
Geralt! It's good to see you.
The commoners claim Stennis is involved in Saskia's poisoning. They're looking to slaughter him.
Nobody to keep things peaceful?
Scalen Burden and his dwarves are trying to contain the mob, but they're badly outnumbered.
The plebs will yell a lot, beat someone up, and go home. As peasants do.
That would be foolish. They're not serfs anymore. The days of them humbly sowing and reaping are gone.
Looks like things are getting nasty.
Hear me! What do you want? I'm Scalen Burden. I keep order in Vergen.
Or doing a nice job then? Where was you when they poisoned Saskia?
Give us the prince! Get the flails!
Stop!
Yorvith.
Squirrels! Everyone who wants to leave this yard in one piece, keep your hands off your weapons! I don't care if you're a serf or a lord. I'll kill you all if need be.
What's going on?
The servant carrying wine during the feast said that Prince Stennis and Olcan poisoned Saskia. We want justice!
You want revenge. It's not the same thing.
We don't care. Saskia's fallen as if dead, while the poisoning prince and noble lords rush to herd us onto the field and sell us to Henselt. We won't let them!
You lie, Colton. Nobody's being sold out. The poisoner must be caught and tried by law.
Your law? What then? He'll pay a fine and get spanked on his ass? We'll spank him all right, with an axe to the throat!
Where's this servant?
Safe. The Scoia'tael keep an eye on him.
Why's the prince hiding in his house if he's innocent?
Enough! I'll shoot the first to reach for a weapon. Then heads will start falling.
There's more of us. You can't kill every...
Then you'll be first. Now back off! We need to act quickly.
What's your plan?
I'll frighten them a little. Bleed them if need be. I'll buy you some time, but be swift. I can't hold them off for long. Question the peasants and the nobles, and talk to the dwarves. Maybe you can get to meet Stennis.
Even if he's guilty, I'm sure he's prepared a suitable story.
You'll know how to sort the sheep from the goats. Also, find the servant who started talking so suddenly. You won't have time to talk to everyone, though, that's for sure.
Good. Bloody bastard poisoned the Virgin.
Change your tone when we put a sickle
Saskia's
to
on the
your
pier
throat.
with Hensel at the gate.
Save your
come over here.
threats for your
Faithful the mist and
hog-smelling
commoners and
woman.
nobles are at each other's throats.
This is nonsense. What would the prince gain
Say,
with the virgin's
Witcher,
death?
come over here.
I could tell you what he lost.
Alright, so I guess I could do royal blood now, since I still gotta go through, let me see, hunting for magic, harpy contract. You can't do that one. I gotta wait for events to do that. Talk to the ground, you don't have much time. Hunting magic. Okay, so I mean, I gotta go do that, so I can do this right now.
Guilt must be proven. Otherwise, it's vigilante justice.
Serfs and lords will never be on the same side.
If not for that damned Yorvith, the serfs would probably be hanging the prince.
Playing into Henselt's hands. If they start at each other's throats,
If he found
we'll
proof
have
of
to face
Stennis'
the
guilt,
entire
he'd
amount of
point his bow
Cadwin
the other
alone.
way. But if it wasn't for him, we could not defend the prince.
Saskia could.
Alright, so let's take it from the top.
Hog-smelling woman.
I'll not waste my arrows on that rabble.
Greetings, Gwynblade.
Anything changed?
Not really. The peasants keep hollering. Noblemen stubbornly guard their chieftain.
It's good to see someone's taking.
Can we have a word?
Why not? I'm Ogden, a founder. I cast mugs, plates, chalices. You need any, Witcher?
No thanks. The tableware in the council chamber is your handiwork?
It is. Made it back in Mayor Farragut's time. Since then, each and every goblet has hit the floor dozens of times, and what happened? Nothing, because they're steel. My goblets are indestructible, impervious to both the fury of sovereigns and servants who are all thumbs.
Saskia's chalice was new.
Aye, it was. Back in Mayor Farragut's day, Avenger Saskia was no more than an itch in her da's breeches.
Who ordered the goblet from you?
That goblet was a gift. A way for the folk of Vergen to pay tribute to Saskia. I got the honor of casting and presenting it to our lovely leader. The lass liked it so much, she's not used any other vessel since she received it.
Was the order for a normal goblet?
Not a chance. It was supposed to be a gift. I ornamented it richly, even on the inside. Not terribly practical, that, as it's hard to get clean. Some scum is bound to remain. But I wanted it looking downright regal, worthy of our Saskia.
The other chalices were not ornamented on the inside?
Course not.
Any chance there could have been two identical goblets?
Why, there's no craftsman that comes close to me in Vergen.
Could someone have tried to copy your handiwork?
Ha! I know of one who's been trying for years, but he's a fumbler, a screw-up. He's not produced one decent vessel. They all look like the work of a drunken elf. Thorax, his name.
See you at the inn. We'll grab a beer.
Saskia's on the pier with Henselt at the gates. Wraiths fill the mist and commoners and nobles are at each other's throats. Lovely.
This is nonsense. What would the prince gain with the virgin's death?
I could tell you what he lost with her life.
Change your tone when we put a sickle
As I
to
see
your
it, every
throat.
princeling likes to
Save
see.
your threats for
Guilt
your
must be proven.
hog-smelling woman.
Otherwise, it's vigilante justice.
Come over here.
I'll grant you that, Leinster.
The prince has it coming,
Alright, so hold on, let me go talk to Thorak, because if this is... I don't know if this kiss is timed.
Good.
Feeling
Bloody
it's
bastard
like
Not for that
poisoned
damn
the
Yorvith,
Yorvith, the
talk,
serfs
so-
would probably...
And that Adam guy wants to talk to me.
Shut your trap if you don't know what's going on.
Anyone order an exquisitely adorned goblet from you?
I get the occasional commission for tableware, sure. But what exactly are you talking about?
Saskia's goblet. Was that your handiwork?
That ugly bucket! Did you intend to offend me? Whoever made that thing should be whipped! I certainly hope Saskia orders her vessels from me next time.
If she gets a chance to order anything again.
can admit to anything.
This is
If
nonsense.
not for that damned
What would the
Yorvith,
prince gain with
the
the
Prince
virgin's
has it
death?
coming,
I could
methinks.
tell you. Things look
Say,
bad.
Witcher,
The
come over
peasants
here.
are furious. They finally have a chance to strike back for all the wrongs.
The noblemen won't yield.
They're a cowardly lot.
They know their heads will follow Stennis's.
It's a deadlock, with the prince's guilt still to be proven.
Yarpen says it's someone from Edom. Sheldon, on the other hand, would shave his beard if it's not Hensel's spies.
Why would Sheldon suspect Henselt?
He'd sooner reach an agreement with Stennis than Saskia. Her death would be very convenient.
Zoltan?
I'm wondering how anyone could manage to poison the wine. Saskia's a quick-witted lass. She doesn't let just anyone near. Someone she knew must have done it.
Anyone reached the prince in his chamber?
Not even close. The nobles guard him like a matron does her ward's hiney.
If the rabble slaughters the prince, there'll be no stopping them. They'll start doing things their own nasty way.
That's why the nobles will support the prince even if they believe he's guilty.
I'm sure Stennis' hands are dirtier than a peasant girl's fucked in a barn.
Has Yarpen got any evidence?
No, Yarpen's an old cook and says he's got a feeling. Ploughing soothsayer.
He might be right with those feelings. After all, not just anyone can pass through the Wraith's mist. It has to be someone local.
So it never crossed your mind that Henselt might have sent someone here before those ghosts appeared?
Give us this whore
Bloody
flower!
bastard poisoned the virgin.
Down, you surly dog!
You'll change your tone when we put a sickle to your throat.
Save your threats for your hog-smelling woman.
Say,
What do you want?
we of noble birth always had to protect the plebs from their own stupidity. If not for us, the world...
I don't have time to listen to songs praising the nobility. Know anything about the attempt on Saskia's life?
No, I don't. But whatever the truth, the mob cannot lynch one of royal blood.
So truth means nothing to you. That's what makes us different.
I didn't say I don't care about truth. Just keep in mind there's a world order that mustn't be destroyed.
An order that allows injustice.
If the prince turns out to be involved in this attempted murder, he should face a tribunal. The rabble doesn't understand the principles ruling the world.
Or they do understand them and simply don't like them.
Saskia is a wise woman, but there's one thing she doesn't take into consideration. This war will be over one day. Who will sow the crops and milk the cows then? Saskia called the serfs to arms. Do you think they'll want to plough fields again?
You may be right, but it's certainly not my business who'll plough your fields. Farewell.
Give us this whore flower!
Rolling dung, you surly dog!
Why is he lingering about? Like the stench in a dwarven hovel.
Those witchers be craving gold. This one's sure to say the prince is innocent, then sting Stennis for a pouch.
He better search for a lad who served the Virgin instead of pissing around.
Yeah, once done with the prince, he'd better take care of the magnets. Throwing their weight about too much they are.
The prince stood right next to Saskia during the council. Did he have access to the wine cellar beforehand?
How should I know?
Why flap your mouth then?
The prince is a wealthy lord. Bribing a skivvy to poison the wine is nothing to him.
Just because someone can afford gold teeth doesn't mean they'll pull their healthy ones. What's it really all about? Who's backing you?
We want justice.
We don't need no one backing us. We knows what to do.
How would you punish the prince?
If a lad counts hens wrong, he'll be flogged. What should we then do with a man poisoning others?
Kill him.
A land without a ruler is a nightmare.
We have a ruler, the Virgin of Eden.
It's not certain she'll live.
Then we'll choose another who'll manage. But he must be one of us lads. That way he'll understand us.
And all people is gonna be equal. Our way.
And the non-humans?
We have enough dung on the fields. Let non-humans find a non-human land.
Away with them!
You know Saskia's servant?
Willie of the Oblates. He handled the wine, indeed, but loves the Virgin like a sister and mother put together.
He'd gladly get quartered for her.
Where's this Willie of yours?
Hiding in his shack, afraid of them lords. Squirrels guard him.
Farewell.
Give us this horplower!
Rolling dung, you surly dog!
It's good to see someone's taking care of it.
Sickle to your throat.
They can't see the glass. Wait, use. Oh, this should do the fire. We can't see Saskia's glass to determine if it's the original or a fake. Well, let's go talk to the peasant. And
It's good to see someone's taking care of it. Who will the Witcher sign?
He's on very good terms with that damned elf.
Sorcerers are a plague of the worst kind. Hang 'em all by the balls and let 'em swing.
Pale-face, no eyes like embers. He'd raised his hand and pointed a finger at him.
I'd rather rabid dogs bite me in the arse than be pointed
I've been looking for you.
I don't know you.
You caused quite a commotion. Afraid of something?
No, nothing.
You're lying.
I didn't do nothing. Didn't say nothing, don't know nothing, and didn't see nothing.
Tell me everything you know about the attempt on Saskia's life.
I heard the priest talking with the prince. This goody-goody, said the Virgin, is really a beast under her fair skin.
What priest?
Olcan, the one killed.
So there's no way I can check if you're lying.
I swear on my mother's grave, I speak the truth.
What else did you hear? Tell me.
I was putting Saskia's room in order when the priest came to the prince's chamber next door. It wasn't speaking loud, but I heard the priest say, just clear the servants from the kitchen. Nothing more. Reverend Olcan, only he could tell you how it was, beginning to end.
The dead aren't very talkative.
What about what they leave behind? There may be clues or some such.
Maybe.
What
May
should
the
I
triple
do?
goddess watch over you.
Alright, so we're gonna go to Cecile's house. We're gonna cross there. To get there, but I gotta go whoop, 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 right.
What's this? Clad in hues of green.
I need to know where Reverend Olcan used to live.
Simple. Let me show you on the map. It's about right here. See you, Governor.
Oh, it was easy. Progress for the sake of progress. Alright, so his house was over there? What?
I had a dream. We were mining up at the face of the drive, like in the old days.
There's a house over there? I mean, I feel like there isn't.
Don't try anything.
Oh, that we did, and now it's all the way over here. Okay.
Do the gods favor Lady Saskia, as she claims?
The gods never favor rebellions that seek to topple them.
Take care.
Her name is Crow.
Strange aura. Nothing interesting.
What's the note say? What the hell is this? Huh. Okay.
Perhaps we should pray?
Witcher! Killer of the beast of the outskirts! Slayer of the Striga! I shall be your dog, the most faithful of servants. I shall remove pebbles from your way, so you don't wound but a foot.
Thanks for the praise, but I don't need a servant.
Take everything I have, Savior. All my belongings are yours. All of them.
What?
Really? Then give me what you've got, and take care.
After the war, I shall go home, grow a beard, and buy a dog. Oxen will not drag me away to another war.
I think you've an agitated spirit. You won't stay long in one place.
When we get around to issuing land grants, I'll ask for a piece far away from the border. Barren land there's better than most fertile years.
Oh, shoot.
What do you mean land grants?
Nuts.
There's no
Well,
land to grant in Edirn.
Lady Saskia's promised, and she'll deliver.
It was a trap.
The land belongs to the nobility.
Ah, I'm all the way back. Alright. Well, at least I'm here. Oh wait, that's after I... Yeah, I gotta go search the room again. I wonder if there's like a faster way. If I go this way. I'm trying to learn if this is like a circle, right?
You're stupid. She just fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then I'm back in here.
If not for that damned Yorvith, the serfs would probably be hanging the prince.
They say someone cast a spell, and the Virgin fell as if dead.
Greetings!
Greetings.
I kind of want to
How
talk
do
to
you
this
see
weirdo again.
Do the gods favor Lady
Witcher! Killer of the beast! Take...
So I just don't take his stuff then? Weird.
Strange aura. Nothing interesting.
Just make sure to repeat what I just did. Take the notes. Read the note. Just don't understand the cup, but it looks like it's rigged to do poison distribution. Read the house.
We should pray.
It's gotten late.
I'd rather talk about tits.
So it's really haunted now.
It is! They should make it a mandatory pilgrimage for young clerics. They truly believe.
Hey-ho, 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 hey-ho.
What's the rush?
Was there a plague of the worst kind? Hang them all by the balls and let them swing.
If not for that damned Yorvith, the serfs would probably
prince
be
has it
hanging.
coming?
Enough of this charade!
Try to be reasonable, folks. Sit down and talk in peace.
We've talked enough! Come on, lads, let's drag the prince from his hovel!
Vergen's not a cesspit for anyone to shit in. There are laws to abide, and Scalen Burden's job is to uphold them.
There's no law allowing a serf to threaten a king's scion. I, Silgrat, brother of Seltkirk, the greatest knight to walk Edirnian land, say so.
Does it matter who was born in a castle and who in a pigsty? Any fool can prejudge and condemn. It's easier to accuse than to prove guilt.
A peasant servant claims that Prince Stennis supposedly attempted to kill Saskia. Why would the prince do such a dastardly deed? Bear in mind how eminent is his lineage.
That's why. The mongrel covets the crown.
Do you even remember how valorous he was towards Saskia during the negotiations with Henselt?
Pretending to be with her, he was, sly fox. Taking the simple peasants in. But us lads ain't so dumb as you lords think.
See for yourselves how the commoners hate the prince, spitting venom like adders. They hatched a plot to dispose of him.
Saskia's servant said that...
Where is this servant, might I ask? If he's got something to say, why does he hide like a thief? The answer is simple. He's a fraud.
He's hiding to save his skin from you, whoresons. Squirrels have to guard him.
One last question. How could the prince poison Saskia? It's a known fact that servants taste wine from the barrels before the virgin sips it.
No need to poison the wine. Smearing the poison inside the chalice would be enough.
I never heard of anyone poisoning a chalice.
You haven't heard much, then. One of the Emperor's forebears died after sampling some lamb. He was always scared of poison and ate supper with his cook. The murderer spread poison on one side of a knife. Then he cut the meat so that only a small piece was poisoned.
The witch is right. Give us Stennis.
Saskia's got her own chalice.
It was commissioned from one of the dwarves. The order came with a very detailed drawing.
Even so, how did it come into Saskia's hand?
Oh, I feel like I didn't get to finish treating investigation.
It's not clear how the prince poisoned the wine, but that doesn't mean he didn't do it.
Stennis is blowing hot and cold. Everyone knows that.
You were supposed to prove his guilt, not insult him, yokel.
Tell us who else would do it. A peasant wanted to hurt the miss? Never. It's cause of her you noble dogs can't ignore us. A pig won't cut its own throat. A peasant's not foolish enough to raise his hand against his savior.
Perhaps it is no peasant's deed. However, that doesn't mean the prince is guilty, fool.
Answer me this. Was not Stennis' room next to Saskia's? Do not the wines come from his own lice-ridden cellar? Can he not enter the Virgin's kitchen at will? Yes. His serene dumbhead the prince can, curses on his kin. Nobody in Vergen wants to kill Saskia. And even if they wanted, nobody but Stennis could do it.
You're wrong, Colton. Reverend Olkin wanted to get rid of Saskia. He thought she was a monster at heart.
Olkin was on Stennis' leash like a dog.
How dare you, lout! Do you imagine if someone sits next to a married lady, he's surely fucking her?
The priest tried to convince Prince Stennis to join the conspiracy.
Is Stennis some dimwit foundling that he dances to a lousy priest's tune? Olcan got what he deserved when Henselt cleaved his head. Now it's Stennis' time.
There is no proof the prince agreed.
The priest asked him for admittance to the kitchen.
So he didn't poison the Virgin himself, but allowed her to be poisoned.
Those are just words. Too much guesswork and not enough evidence. You can't convict anyone based on that.
Your Highness, this is dangerous.
I am not afraid. Fear is a commoner's trait, unfit for one with royal blood running in his veins. What do you want, to judge me? Is a prince a common thief who steals a dozen eggs at the market? You stand before royal majesty, and you raise your hands against it. In this world there are crimes that can be forgiven, and crimes that, by any means, cannot. Just as a mother killing her own child, or a man slitting his own brother's throat cannot be forgiven. A crime against one anointed by the gods themselves also cannot be condoned. He who raises hand against divine right is not worthy to walk this world. And what about he who poisons the Virgin of Edern? Firstly, Saskia is alive, so no one can blame me for her death. Secondly, you have no proof that it was I who tried to murder her. And thirdly, I assure all gathered here, I won't rise above the law. However, only she, the Virgin of Edern, can judge me. Can it? And if Saskia won't get well, who's gonna judge you? I believe she can be cured. But if the gods decide otherwise, we'll summon a coven of the wise who can pass just sentence.
Those are words worthy of a true sovereign.
I am the one you should look to for guidance. Let my deeds be the flame that lights up your darkness.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get enough information. The only thing I know is that the priest was trying to convince the prince. There's nothing that the prince has done or said that makes me think he would actually want to kill her. I'm going to go it's a bad idea.
The prince has a right to a fair trial, no matter if he's guilty or not. We can't deny him that. What will the peasants do if we hand them the prince? Will they hear him out? No. They'll hang him from the nearest tree or tear him limb from limb. What will happen if we allow a lynching? What if people see that might makes right? Who'll guarantee they won't desire to avenge their wrongs, real and imagined? Who'll protect people whose only fault is noble birth from the exasperated mob? And where will it lead?
The peasants are furious.
They didn't dare mount a frontal attack.
But they haven't forgotten about Stennis, and won't. It'll be that way until Saskia regains consciousness.
She won't keep order by strength alone.
Unless it's a great strength.
We need an authority figure, and royal blood.
5 courts go to waste in the Dwarven dungeon at the moment.
There's also Henselt.
Going into that haunted mist is madness. Stealing Stennis away would be easier.
No. Anything involving Stennis will cause a riot.
I've had enough of the peasants and nobles barking. Saskia's the best leader I know, but she can't hope to defeat Henselt's army with this rabble, which is why I'm going to get reinforcements.
Where?
4 Scoia'tael units await in hiding to the east. Time to summon them.
You'll make it in time?
I must.
Oh boy.
Beaver! Eh? That's a witcher, not a human.
What are we dealing with here?
So, thought it over. I'm on my way to the recruiting station.
I don't know.
What's the
I tried locating Triss, but the mist disrupts the megascope. There's a weak signal nearby, probably on the other side.
In the Kaedweni camp?
You'll have to pass through the mist.
The mist is full of wraiths.
I'll help you. I'm continuously scanning the battlefield. I'll show you the way through. I'll find you when you enter the mist.
Farewell, then.
We still need royal blood.
I know. Henselt.
We need his blood, not his death.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not a Kingslayer?
You wanted to discuss something? Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important.
Okay.
I didn't say that. I need more time.
Alright, so I can't cross the mist yet because that's crazy. Thorak is still a suspect. Alright, so we're gonna do the Harpy one. We're gonna check something first. There is a jail out here, because I think when I first came over into this part of the game, well, that guy disappeared. I'm pretty sure when I first pulled in here, one of these doors takes me to a jail, and I was like, oh, there's one in here. Oh no, not that one. So I just have to find what door that is, see if I can talk to Henselt. And then... go from there. I thought there was a jail. Maybe there wasn't. I wish I had a map that like actually told me where stuff was. Like mysterious merchant. Like it doesn't say anything about anything useful. Other than this is where the inn is. I mean, it could be over here with these three.
Hello, Witcher.
That would make a lot of sense. Except it's not.
Don't bump your woman.
I'm gonna just check these because I thought there was right. Oh, it's locked. I thought it was right there, but I guess not. When I first came in here, I was at that big door, which was. Oh wait. Is it this one? Oh no, I already went through there. Oh, I'm all disoriented. Well, wherever the big door was, maybe it was up here somewhere. Make one more quick check before I go to the Harpy stuff. This one, right here where the guard is.
Okay.
Jail. I knew it. See? I knew there was a jail.
You were right. The rebels show no thirst for blood. That's not good. They disarmed us and merely demanded our word that we'd make no attempt to flee.
That's not good?
It's unfortunate, yes. For Henselt is bloodthirsty and he's coming here.
I've heard a lot about the Dun Banner recently.
Aye, Kidweni Light Cavalry. I met them at Brenna. They joined our relief party. But that's the distant past. I believe they were cut down to the last man 3 years ago at Vergen.
You mentioned earlier that you were looking for a Witcher with a snake medallion.
Yes, on Sheila de Tanzerville's orders. As I said, the order was curt and specific. Kill him and anyone you find with him. No discussion, no investigation. Guesswork or judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I thought, well, I guess that was, I found one thing, but I didn't find what I thought I was going to find. I thought that this guy was going to be locked up
There
in there.
goes the peace, eh?
Squirrels, witches, and
That's where the jail is, but apparently not. Okay, so, in the next episode, we are going to continue the Harpy line for a little bit before we try to do this whole
I got a serious career proposal yesterday.
From one of your vessels?
And we'll go from there. Save game and the next one.